I don't know what people would be expecting me to say. But first of all, thank you to God for whom we all are equal. And thank you to every person who has prayed for my fast recovery and a new life. I cannot believe how much love people have shown me. I have received thousands of good wish cards and gifts from all over the world. Thank you to all of them.
Thank you to the children whose innocent words encouraged me. Thank you to my elders whose prayers strengthened me. There are hundreds of human rights activists and social workers who are not only speaking for human rights, but who are struggling to achieve their goals of education, peace, and equality. Thousands of people have been killed by terrorists, and millions of them have been injured. I am just one of them.
So here I stand, one girl among many. I speak not for myself, but for all girls and boys.
I raise up my voice, not so that I can shout, but so those without a voice can be heard. Those who have fought for their rights. Their right to live in peace. Their right to be treated with dignity.
Their right to equality of opportunity. And their right to be educated.
Dear friends, on the 9th of October, 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullets would silence us, but they failed. And then, out of the silence came thousands of voices. The terrorists thought that they could change our aims and stop our ambitions, but nothing changed in my life except this. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born.
I am the same Malala. My ambitions
My
are the same.
ambitions are the same.
My hopes are the
My
same.
hopes are the
My
same.
dreams
My
are the same.
dreams are the same. Dear sisters and brothers, I am not against anyone. Neither am I here to speak in terms of personal revenge against the Taliban or any other terrorist group. I am here to speak up for the right of education of every child. I want education for the sons and the daughters of all the extremists, especially the Taliban. I do not even hate the Talib who shot me. Even if there is a gun in my hand and he stands in front of me, I would not shoot him.
This is the compassion that I have learned from Muhammad, the Prophet of Mercy, Jesus Christ, and Lord Buddha. This is the legacy of change that I have inherited from Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. This is the philosophy of nonviolence that I have learned from Gandhiji, Bacha Khan, and Mother Teresa. And this is the forgiveness that I have learned from my mother and my father.
This is what my soul is telling me. Be peaceful and love everyone. Dear sisters and brothers, we realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of our voice when we are silenced. In the same way, when we were in Swat, the north of Pakistan, we realized the importance of pens and books when we saw the guns.
The wise saying, "The pen is mightier than sword," was true. The extremists are afraid of books and pens. The power of education frightens them. They are afraid of women. The power of the voice of women frightens them. That is why they are blasting schools every day. because they were and they are afraid of change, afraid of equality that we bring into our society.
I remember that there was a boy in our school who was asked by a journalist, "Why are the Taliban against education?" He answered very simply by pointing to his book. He said, "A Talib does not know what is written inside this book. They think that God is a tiny, little conservative being who would send girls to the hell just because of going to school. The terrorists are misusing the name of Islam and Pashtun society for their own personal benefits. Pakistan is a peace-loving, democratic country. Pashtuns want education for their daughters and sons. And Islam is a religion of peace, humanity, and brotherhood. Islam says that it is not only each child's right to get education, rather it is their duty and responsibility."
Honorable Secretary General, peace is necessary for education in many parts of the world, especially Pakistan and Afghanistan. Terrorism, wars, and conflicts stop children to go to their schools. We are really tired of these wars. Women and children are suffering in many parts of the world in many ways. In India, innocent and poor children are victims of child labor. Many schools have been destroyed in Nigeria.
People in Afghanistan have been affected by the hurdles of extremism for decades. Young girls have to do domestic child labor and are forced to get married at an early age. Poverty, ignorance, injustice, racism, and the deprivation of basic rights are the main problems faced by both men and women.
Dear fellows, today I am focusing on women's rights and girls' education because they are suffering the most. There was a time when women social activists asked men to stand up for their rights.
But this time, we will do it by ourselves. I am not telling men to step away from speaking for women's rights. Rather, I am focusing on women to be independent, to fight for themselves.
Dear sisters and brothers, now
is
it's
the
time to speak up.